It's going to be how I mark my charts for the mornings. So simple as that. Let's just get right into it. So first off, I start on the 4-hour, sometimes the daily, but 4-hour time frame, and I just mark out the draws on liquidity. So pretty simple. I'll just take my horizontal ray, mark out the highs. See, there's a big low over here, and this low. The next thing I'll do is I'll stay on the 4-hour, and I will see if there's any 4-hour gaps. So we got this one right here, and there's one right here that we tapped into twice already, so I don't really need to mark that one. The only other one I'm going to mark is this one up here. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is go down to the 1-hour. So now we're diving in a little bit deeper, but I'm just looking for fair value gaps. So we have the 1-hour gap below right here. Now I'll consider marking this gap. Okay, so we got this one marked out. Let's put 1 hour, and we got this one right above 1 hour. Okay, now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to see if there's any 15-minute fair value gaps that coincide with these 1-hour gaps. Okay, so right away I can see there's a couple gaps down here that are pretty near the lowest draw, as well as there's a few 15-minute gaps right in here, which is in the 4-hour. So I'm going to go ahead and see how big these are. So this one up here is pretty large. It's around 140 points. So I'm just going to take this and I'm going to make it into a 15-minute gap. Okay. So I'll leave that there as a 15-minute. Why am I getting rid of the 1 hour and making it 15-minute? Well, because if price wants to come up, tap this draw, and continue going higher, we can assume that price will want to take this higher draw. It's not a guarantee, but we can assume so. We can mark out this one right here, 88 points. So depending on if you want to take this first inversion or the second one, they're both valid gaps. Okay, below. So right here is Asia high from tonight. We kind of filled this gap already, and this gap is, I say it's like 60 points. Yeah, 61 points. And if I was to create a gap off this, we didn't completely fill it. There's still a little bit left, so technically it's still valid. I'll just bring it over for S&Gs. So, got a 15-minute right there. Now for the downside. So, assuming that price is going to continue going lower, we have this gap, but price tapped into it twice already, continued going higher, so technically the gap is filled. We have this larger one right here that has not been filled already, right in here. Okay, you can see price only tapped into it once off the 50% and continued going higher. So technically this is a valid gap, And if price were to break through on the downside and we were to target draws below, this is still 100 plus point trade. Okay, so we can mark this one out as a 15-minute. And that's looking pretty good. And you might be thinking, well, what about like the smaller one right here, or maybe this one, or any of that? There's also a 15-minute right here that we could use, but I don't really need to use this 15-minute gap right here, even though it is big enough, because remember, we're using this bigger gap right here, this 1 hour gap. So we're using this 15-minute to go long. We're using the break of this 1 hour to go short. And also on top of all that, if price wants to be going down through Asia session tonight and be a little choppy, then we can use this gap right here during market open to take the short lower. And if it wants to break below and come up and be all weird, we can take the long to go high, and so forth. And if for whatever reason price wants to come down, reject off of this one, come fill all this and do all whatever it's got to do, we have our 4 hour gap right here and our 15 gap above, so we can target highs right here and ultimately the higher draws above, which that's around 100 points, and if not a little bit more. So ultimately all I'm going to be doing is being patient for tomorrow morning. Tuesday at 7 o'clock right here, 7 a.m. would be right there. So there's that. And this. And then we can bring this big boy over. This would be like the major 4 hour. And then also we have this bigger one up here. This is like the bigger 4 hour from above, but we'll see about that. That's if price wants to really rip up, take out this 4 hour and then target higher, but even then we got another 4 hour above. So that's it. That's really all I do is mark out these. I will go down to the 5 minute if there's a 5 minute setup. So like on Asia, there's this 5 minute gap. This candle is, I'm going to say, around 80 points, 76 points. So technically, if I was trading Asia tonight, this would be a valid play to take longs back to these highs. But that's ultimately it. If you learned anything, let me know. Drop a comment, leave a like, subscribe, and yeah, peace out.